welcome to the new year. Now, I'm getting more used to just holding the mic instead of having it out in front of me. I could get another mic arm, but I can't adjust this like I would with my old mics. But I like how minimalist this is. I'm starting out, January 2026 with a high note. I just to kind of get it out of the way, I had scheduled out pretty much, not scheduled, planned out pretty much the entire year's worth of content ahead of time. I want to do one blog post a day, and then ideally one video a week, ideally for all three channels. And right now, the PolyTools one, at the very least, has one video planned every week. The PolyInnovator one, the one you're watching now, not as much so, but I will probably post more on top of what I'm already planning. And then a gaming channel, I'm just going to kind of see how that goes because ideally I would like to do one a week as well. It might end up being just one a month. It really kind of depends on if I'm live streaming enough. And I think that if I do, it will be kind of like interesting because I have the Lenovo Legion Go here, which I got recently as a trade. And then I have my mini PC that I'm working on as well. And so I can have a dual PC setup playing on the Lenovo Legion Go, but then streaming it to my main PC with the capture card. So I digress. There is so much going on that I'm a bit overwhelmed. Potentially romantic interest in life too, which is always nice, and being able to pursue that. And then having more and more success with content and seeing the progression and things happening really does excite me, which is one reason why I'm quadrupling down on content. I want to do another content blitz. I think last year I got 3 out of 5 sprints done out of the blitz, and I tried working on the other 2, but it kind of just like waited till later on in the year, and that's okay. The point is, I still think that was a relatively successful endeavor. So this year, the blitz is going to be even more powerful and hopefully get even more stuff scheduled out ahead of time. And in doing so, I'll be able to have a baseline of content constantly going out without having to worry about it every day. Even if I have everything planned every day, like I said, on the calendar, the whole year is basically full. I think around October or so, the weekends don't have anything on them, but the weekdays do, and everywhere else in the year does. And I'll fill those out as time goes on. I just kind of got to the bottom of the barrel now, and I don't necessarily, some of these ideas, I was like, I don't need to work on those just yet. So until I had ideas that I was crazy about, I didn't want to fill in those blanks just yet. But that was a big effort. And then today, I got a quick workout in, not as much as I'd want, but I showed up and I did decent well. Got laundry done. I've been doing a little bit of piddling here and there, moving things around. As you can see, this is like now moved back over here, which is great. So there's more stuff going on in the background. I'll fix the messes here soon. And so there's a lot of things that I'm doing in order to prepare for this year. Even like throwing away the old loofah for a new loofah, making sure I have a clean towel, and everything is like, obviously I get a clean towel, but I'm just saying I'm replacing everything just to make sure to start off the year well. Probably even going to get groceries after this. So it's just one of those things where if you want to have a New Year's resolution, more power to you. I've always been kind of in the mindset that New Year's resolutions are kind of bad because they kind of put you in the mindset of failure, right? If you don't continue that New Year's resolution, then after like January, your mind kind of just like forgets it. I am sort of doing a New Year's resolution this year and trying to make sure I get my habits back in order, start reading again. I have a book from a potential guest on the show. Can I show you here? Yeah, there we go. That I need to read. And I also need to just start reading in general, get more of these books done out of here. I've been trading and selling and downsizing, and like for example, I traded my old desktop for a PlayStation 5 and MetaQuest 2. Okay, I traded my Xbox Series X for the Lenovo Legion Go. I traded my old I had a Stream Deck lying around, and I got this microphone for it. Like I've been trading so much and bartering so much. I love it. And right now I'm looking for like an SSD, and I'm just going to see if I can trade for it because I have like an old action camera that doesn't really hold it on par with Insta360 or GoPro or whatever. And I'll probably have to get one of those if I want quality. But I got that in case I wanted to make swimming content. So before I even get into the actual part of this video that normally goes on, I just kind of wanted to mention the Blitz a little bit more. I'm going to keep talking about it for a while because it's so exciting. And if you want to know more about it, I'll probably go in more detail on the content creator channel, the Content Polymath. It's linked on this channel, and you can just search for it and you'll find it. You'll see my face all in purple. And so, for example, last year, part of the Blitz, one of the things that I failed to do was the Polymath newsletter. And while I got a few posts done, I didn't really get that particular sprint done. I got the Polymath Polycast done, and that was a really big deal. I got a decent amount of the content newsletter stuff going, and towards the end of the year, I actually brought back the content newsletter with Substack. And now that I actually left Substack again, I wanted to repost the stuff I had exclusively posted on there on the site. So part of the thing I was doing today was also prepping, either posting and scheduling if they were already ready. If they weren't ready, then like copying the link and putting it in Obsidian. That's the one thing about these sprints that were kind of like weird. They weren't in my Obsidian vault. They weren't in my planning area, right? The tool that I use to plan my content. They were in my drafts on my website, which to me, my drafts are kind of like high priority, need to be like done ASAP. So having for like a year, having drafts just sit there drove me crazy. And I managed to get the tools posts, the content posts finally done towards the end of the year. That was like the other sprint that I kind of failed on. And I eventually got that done, the third quarter of the year. And that was great. But now they're scheduled out until July. So what I ended up doing was I took even more of my posts that I had planned for the content niche and scheduled them out for the rest of the year. So every Tuesday for the whole year, I had the tools posts scheduled. And then after that, I had planned for more posts. And I tried to stick towards that tools niche or topic for the content creators. And so like, even though the first half is like top 10 tools for this category, after that, it's more of like, here's the best tool for multi-streaming. Here's the tool that I use for this and that kind of thing. So it's not the same series per se, but it's related. And then next year, I'm probably just going to end that. But I wanted to continue that going. Plus, I had a ton of content creator posts that I wanted to do. And then my actual content creator newsletter series that I wanted to do and continue from Substack, those go out on Thursday. And let me look at my thing here. I have actually a new schedule for the content. I mean, it's kind of the old schedule, but renewed, but I'll explain that in a moment. And I'm really excited about that because now this channel is going to get more content. The content creator channel is going to be more consistent, even more than it already was. The gaming channel has potential to do a lot more because I want the game a lot more. And now that I had the Legion Go, I actually probably will game a lot more. Even if I'm not necessarily streaming, I might still record or something like that. And then I even wanted to bring back some of the series that I have been kind of neglecting. So swimming, for example. I stopped doing that newsletter because I stopped having ideas, but I still want to keep that newsletter alive and I still want to prepare people eventually for the release of my book. Right now, I actually just realized something, but right now I want to work on my exercise book and I just realized I don't have much exercise posts planned out. So I need to work on that. But the idea of preparing people for the exercise, like doing the exercise posts, then releasing the book, doing the swimming post, then releasing the book. And so I wanted to, at least this year, sow the seeds for that, maybe eventually next year. So I'm going to focus on the exercise book. If I get that done early, then I could work on the swimming book this year as well. But if I don't get that done early, then I'm just going to focus on the exercise one for now. But my point is, I have one swimming post scheduled basically every month. I think December has like 2. Maybe November has 2 too. So I ended up finding another one outside the swimming folder. I was like, I should schedule that out as well. And so there's about 12 or 14 of swimming posts going out this year. I wanted to do the same for about the travel content as well. So there's about a dozen travel content posts. They weren't scheduled until like after March. So once a month after March. And then there was a couple extra ones that are related tangentially. And then the gaming ones as well. I have like some gaming posts that I want to do once a month. And so those are the ones that are just like monthly. They're just, keeping the flame alive. I always talk about managing your phases. And I think this is a great way to do so. You don't want that niche or phase to die out. Maybe sometimes you need to cut it off. Like that's what I did with swimming for a while. I just okay, I'm done with it for now. And because I just couldn't work on it last year. And so I'm glad I did that. But now I want to bring it back. And so it doesn't take that much effort to either batch those out all in one go, one little sprint, or maybe just do it once a month. It doesn't really matter. You're only doing it once a month. So it's really easy to just keep that thing alive. So I did that for the gaming, the travel, and the swimming niches. And then the polymath ones, that's where it gets interesting. There are tons of polymath videos and like just stuff that I've accumulated over the years, and I put them all into the Polymath Wiki playlist on this YouTube channel, so you can go watch them now if you want. But I wanted to highlight these creators talking about polymath, jack of all trades, digital renaissance, multi-potentialite, multi-passionate, and I wanted to highlight these creators and the work they did. And so I have one video per post, and then I'm going to write my response and thoughts and 2 cents after that post, kind of either sharing my knowledge or responding to that person depending on the context of the video. And I'm going to have one of those scheduled every week. And I have that basically planned out for the rest of the year. After that, there's also a few posts. I hesitate to mention AI, but a while back I had about half a dozen ideas for posts that AI helped me come up with or help me expand at the very least. So what I'm going to do is a combination writing post where I share the part that AI mentioned, and I usually put those in quotes, like, hey, here's what the AI said. And that way that was generated with AI. Afterwards, it's me. And then I'm going to respond to it and add my 2 cents to it. So I have those kind of scattered about as well. Mainly just because they're really cool. And the AI did add a lot of really unique context to this polymathy topic. And so I have a whole bunch of those planned out, and the whole year is like scheduled out ahead of time. They're not fully done yet, but once they are, they'll be scheduled ahead of time. So that's one of the sprints I'm going to be doing. I'm going to burn through all the polymathy posts. I'm going to burn through all of the content creator posts as best I can, at the very least a month at a time or something. And then burn through the swimming stuff, the gaming stuff. The gaming might be kind of hit or miss. I might do those every month, but the travel ones ahead of time if I can. And that's really cool. The fact that I can just get all that done ahead of time and have this baseline. The whole year is planned out, and hopefully most of the year would actually just be scheduled ahead of time. That is crazy. Just do these different sprints over the course of like a month or two, and in the meantime, just do them daily. I think that'd be a great way to staying consistent. And then on top of that, if I want to do a review on that dock, if I want to do a review on my computer or whatever kind of technology I want to talk about on the creator channel or on the knowledge management channel that you're watching now, then I can do that. I have some ideas with Obsidian and Zorin OS and using mini PCs and trying to link things together in a unique way. And so I want to make videos about that. But those are going to take time. And so while I get everything planned out ahead of time and making sure I'm consistent on everything, then once I have a baseline that I don't have to worry about, it's just going to run on autopilot, just check in and make sure the automations are working. And then I can actually focus on the big tasks like those unique posts that no one else is talking about. No one's talking about Obsidian and Zorin together, let alone Home Assistant on top of that. No one else is talking about like certain polymathic angles and that kind of thing. I started rambling on this topic before I even got to the topic of the video, but the now page update, that's what this is. Sorry. You probably saw it in the title. I don't necessarily do descriptive titles. I just do a very okay, this is now page for January 2026. But that is what today is about. And I'm actually recording this at night because I was like, I need to get to this, and I was planning and working all day. What am I doing now? Like I said, I'm planning content. I'm wanting to get my routine back in order when it comes to exercise, but I find that this time of year really just kills me. And so I'm trying my best with that. And then on top of that, I am taking over karaoke at Social Room in town, which is a bar. And I was doing about 50% of the time before, but now I'm fully taking over. It's the first time I actually just my thing, which is going to be fun. Hopefully that works out pretty well. And I'm excited about that. Let's see. I don't have anything else that I'm looking forward to per se. Like I said, romantic endeavor. Hopefully that works out pretty well, hopefully soon. And then what's coming up? Well, I think that for the most part, I really would like to get the exercise book done. I would like to get maybe my merchandise brand done or started at the very least. And I am excited to play some video games again. I want to get back into Skyrim. I really want to play Octopath Traveler 0. So hopefully at some point I'm able to cop that. But yeah, there's not much else I want to say in the video. I'll probably get a little bit more descriptive in the blog post. Every month I decide that day, do I want to make the video or the blog post first? Lately it's been the video, but it's usually hit or miss for me. Sometimes I would rather just write things out. Now I'll delay the video. Sometimes I just want to yap, and so I'll make the video first, and then the blog post is more condensed. It's kind of vice versa. I also have been changing the PIOS quite a bit, so that's one thing I want to mention, considering this channel, people love Obsidian and knowledge management. There is a plugin. You have to use Brat to install it, but there's a plugin for a calendar in Obsidian Bases. That's what I've been wanting for the longest time. That's how I've been able to plan this whole year's worth of content. And even if that plugin dies on me, all the dates are still there, and I can use another plugin to show those dates. But that is insane, and I'm super excited to actually finally use that. So other than that, that is what I'm excited about. That is what's coming up. I'll share a screenshot of the PIOS in the blog post below. Please go check out the Now page, and thank you for being here.